Y'all, it's your natural bay here, and I'm just coming with a few questions because my last video I made about the West versus developing countries, I had a comment that really stood out, and it was basically saying somebody was saying that they were really gung ho, like Pan African, and then they realized that the Africans didn't like us. And this is my opinion from my understanding, and I also still have questions, and I'm also still learning. But as a U.S. American citizen, a Black American citizen, we know exactly what those people are capable of. If you don't know, then I don't know where to even tell you to start, but most of us know how cruel and evil from the a lot of the what Black Wall Street, I'm sorry, Black Wall Street, or a lot of the towns that were burned down or flooded out, Black communities after slavery. Basically, we lost all of our communities. If you from Africa, you don't know, or if you're from the U.S. and don't know, a lot of Black communities were burnt down. We did not leave from the plantation and then just stand there like what next? And I actually had that question from somebody that's not from the U.S., a Black expat in the U.S. I don't call them immigrants because I don't call myself an immigrant, but a black expat, one of my dear friends from Jamaica. And he asked, well, what did y'all do after y'all were free? Did y'all just stand there like, what next? And I said, no. We actually had communities and towns. Some people were even, the freedmen had land. But a lot of that was sabotage, a lot of that was stolen. So we know what those people are capable of. So when you have people, the FBAs, strictly against Africans, um, I can't speak for them because like they may have grew up in New York or around a lot of Black expats, I would say. They may have grew up around a lot of, or what y'all call them, immigrants, just so y'all can understand where I'm coming from. New York has Jamaica Town. They got African, and honestly, I used to travel to Africa. And I would go to Harlem and get my hair done by the Africans. So, and they had their stereotypes, but I just looked at them like Black people, you know. That's just how I was. I even I have so many immigrant friends, y'all, and I've spoken with and had back and forth conversations with people, and that's what's needed, and that's what's missing. People are so defensive when they speak, though. They don't really hear to actually understand. That's what we need, the understanding, the grace. We don't give enough grace to each other. So back to the subject. We know what these people are capable of as an Black American citizen. We know the destruction that has been caused to us. We know the manipulation, the propaganda, the tactics. So when you see an African saying or having a mindset against us, you have to understand and give grace. These same people colonized them. The things that took place in the U.S. with our towns and communities took place in Africa, and it's still taking place. And every so often you have like a new world order. But we are so divided. We don't catch that when that opening comes, when we can unify. We don't catch that opening because we're so divided, and they love it. Africans, I don't know, and this is kind of the question I have for you. What made y'all think we were lazy? I know I guess I do have some understanding because y'all may not understand this. Black Americans did not want, basically, when slavery ended, they still wanted us to continue doing the labor, sheep labor. Some people literally had to work just to live in the same plantation that they were freed from. So they didn't have a choice. Some people, they didn't have a choice. They just would have been homeless. So when we started standing up and saying, we're not doing that cheap labor no more, that's when they went and got immigrants, had them come in and do the free labor. And maybe that's when they told y'all that we too lazy to do the labor, but that was not the case. The case was we were standing up. Like when a job has a strike and they say, I'm not working for cheap labor. And the people strike and they don't work. Well, what the US does in Western societies, they just go get immigrants. So maybe that's why y'all think we're lazy. Excuse me. And it is a lot of opportunities that we just don't want to bootlick for. Most of the people that's not successful is because they don't want to bootlick. You have to do some type of bootlicking to live in the US, period. You have to do some type of bootlicking unless you were born into a family with already has money. But the US ain't gonna really let you keep it. So um when we see y'all coming and bootlicking, it makes us angry, I ain't gonna lie. And when I went to Jamaica, mind you, most people that want to go to the Jamaica, most black Americans that want to go to Jamaica, we want to go to be a part of the majority. That's why we want to go. But when we go to Jamaica, we get ripped off. Or we realize the generosity is based on our money. And that's not all. That's not all. But that's what you see coming and going into tourist areas. Some people in the U.S. have showed me some things they have bought and how much they paid in Jamaica, and I just was ashamed. How can I defend that? But I know how it is. For one, they in survival. So that's where understanding and grace comes in. But it is very frustrating as a black American to go to these black countries and to want to be included in really the yearning to be there and to get there and then feel like we get stabbed in the back. I don't understand it. And then we see y'all kissing other people, kissing their butt, bootlicking for them. So that's hard for us. And but like I said, it comes with grace and understanding. We have to know who the real enemy is. We know the manipulation. And if you don't know now, like even with the Iran war, like come on now. You could clearly see the propaganda that's trying to be pushed. We have to have grace and understanding. We honestly have to. And me coming to Thailand for healing, because Africa, like I said, is my first choice. If you don't watch any of my other videos, Africa was always my first choice. But I just felt like I needed to take steps to get there. And I really see why. Jamaica was the start of it, to see, the truth will piss you off and then it'll set you free. Because I was really kind of angry when I started dealing with some of the things going on in Jamaica. Then I started not taking it personal, because they will do the same thing to the next Jamaican. But and one other thing also, Americans, black Americans, we are not taught to negotiate. That's not something we are used to. Everything has prices on it in the U.S. You don't have to negotiate. Cars and stuff like that, yeah, we usually take a man with us to do that. But not everyday things. It's not really in us as women usually to negotiate. I mean, I guess, of course, if you train up in it and, that's how you were brought up. But that's not what we're used to. And I think if people take advantage of that in other countries, we don't try to talk nobody down. We just kind of get offended when somebody offers a ridiculous price. But anyway, back to the Thailand story. Me coming to Thailand and healing, and me seeing how they kept their culture, they kept their beliefs. They were lightly colonized, but not on paper, because they figured out a way to maneuver. For one, the Western world couldn't come in and say, y'all are uncivilized. Just like if you in Jamaica, a lot of the beaches in Jamaica, if you ever heard of Winifred Beach, they tried to come in and say that they wasn't taking care of the beach. So they tried to take their land. And they said, no, we're going to clean it up. They put a bathroom in there and they cleaned it up. That's the same thing with Thailand. They already kind of had a European system going on, or acceptable to the Europeans or the Western world. So they were able to keep a lot of their culture and beliefs. But one thing I love about Thailand, and if you ever see my video when my son was shooting a water gun, They don't play that about Thai people. They are very generous, very giving to even the tourists. But Thai first, because this is Thailand. Period. I've seen them check Thai people, check tourists, white people, whatever, entitled people. I seen them do it, white or black. They check entitled people, and that's something that black countries don't do. Period. They don't do it at all. They just don't do it. Like, it's bare minimum. Even one time I was at a store and lady tried to rush in front of me. Mind you, I didn't know what the products were because I'm not from here. So I was trying to figure out what type of drink I wanted, honey, lemon, whatever. So the lady behind me just kind of wanted to rush up in front of me, an entitled person. And the person taking my order ignored her. So that's what I mean by handling entitled people. If you look at a few videos down, my son was spraying the water, and the lady was handling that entitled person because the man was sitting in an area where they were wetting people up, but he didn't want to get wet. It was Songkran. Songkran is where you get wet, and plus he was just sitting right where people were wetting, and then he had took the people's seat. I didn't even know what was going on, but she tried to use my son to spray him. But that's just some of the things. I've seen them jump people, like entitled people. They don't play that, and I just wish we could. I don't want us to go around just violently beating people up, but we definitely need to put people in their place. You a majority black country. Why don't you put people in your place? You are the majority. You cannot go to a European country and try to act entitled and think they're going to stick on your side like y'all let them do in your country. You can't do that. And you shouldn't even expect that, So it shouldn't be expected of black countries. So that's a problem. And I know that a lot of black Americans, if you've ever been outside the country, you get sick of it. It happens in the country too. And like I said, you do have to do some type of bootlegging to survive in the U.S. So, and y'all, and a lot, when we see a lot of black expats come to the U.S., we see y'all doing the same thing. So it causes a divide. That's another divide. Like, ugh. Like, you would throw your own brother under the bus for these people. That's crazy. So my big question is to Africans, what made your parents say that we were lazy? Like, was it commercials? Because I can honestly tell you, which I'm sure y'all heard, the reason why we thought Africa was so bad was because of commercials. They would literally show us commercials. I'm sure y'all heard of the Ethiopian kid that's super skinny with flies flying around him. This was a real thing, and it was constantly showed to us, to where most of us have a fear, like, I'm never going there. I don't want to go there. Oh no. And then they tell us that's where we from. Uncivilized. That's what they say. I know the difference now, of course. I haven't even been to Africa yet, but I know that's not true. I know Jamaica's not true, but I know what the system that brought me and my parents and my grandparents up. I know what they're capable of. The manipulation, the propaganda, the lies. I know what they're capable of. So I have more grace. But it is frustrating. And I'm speaking on behalf of some African Americans that feel that way, that they want to unify, but we have these differences. Like I said, we have to have grace for each other. We have to have understanding for each other. Like, that's the only way. Like, we have to put our differences to the side. And that's both sides. And everybody ain't gonna change. Everybody gonna click up somewhere else. And even to the people that the natives to the American lands, I'm not your enemy. I'm not against nothing that you do. If I find resources, I will share it to people that I know. if that's what their journey is. In the end, we still need to unify against the evil and corruption, or at least be our own systems. Like at this point, like we can't keep being dependent on that system. That's why we are forced to just take whatever they give us, because we're too dependent on that system. So that's it, y'all. I love y'all. I hope I made myself clear. I don't know everything. I'm not trying to make it seem like I know everything. I'm I'm just a very inquisitive person, and I want to see us unify. I want to see us heal. I want us to know who we are. I'm learning myself, my strengths, and we come from greatness. So I love y'all. Take care. Make sure y'all share this video, like it, comment. I have no problem. It's okay. Just be respectful. Even though some of y'all, one y'all was real ignorant in the other one, but I let that roll off. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't. I let it roll off. So anyway, love y'all. Take care.